The title of today's story is The Princess and the Faithful Knight, so let's start the story. Once upon a time in the kingdom of Evergreen, there lived a beautiful princess named Serafina. She was celebrated far and wide for her grace and kindness, qualities that matched her breathtaking beauty. Raised with the wisdom to be a fair and just ruler, Princess Serafina was cherished by her people. One day, a prince named Alexander came to the grand palace of Evergreen. He introduced himself as the prince of a neighboring kingdom. Prince Alexander and Princess Serafina soon became attached to each other. While they were strolling through the palace gardens, talking to each other, Prince Alexander led Princess Serafina to a quiet meadow at the edge of the enchanted forest. Under the shade of ancient trees, Prince Alexander looked into her eyes and spoke softly. "If your love for me is true, my dear Serafina, then the rarest flower, the scarlet rose, which grows only in the darkest corners of the forest. It blooms, find it and bring it to me." At Prince Alexander's persuasion, the princess agrees to go into the forest, and Princess Serafina sets out on a quest to find the elusive scarlet rose. After exploring the depths of the forest, the princess finally found a beautiful shining red rose. Its red petals were shining like rubies. With trembling hands, Princess Serafina moved forward to pluck the flowers. Yet, as soon as her fingers touched its velvety petals, the fragrance of the flower overcame the princess. She fell into a deep sleep, her hand still holding the red rose. The prince was watching all this hiding behind the tree. In reality, there was no prince. He was an impersonator thief living in this forest. In the silence of the forest, he took advantage of her weakness and greedily took away all the precious ornaments that adorned her body. The cold-blooded Alexander cruelly abandoned the princess in the middle of the forest. At the palace of the Evergreen, days turned into anxious weeks as King Ferdinand and his advisors despaired over the disappearance of their beloved princess. Search parties searched every corner of the kingdom, but Princess Serafina and Prince Alexander were nowhere to be found. Months passed, and one day a woodcutter went into the forest to cut wood. While cutting wood, he found the princess fast asleep under a spell. With great tenderness, he led the princess back to the palace, where news of his return spread like wildfire. In the palace hall, amidst tears of relief and joy, Rajvedya examined the scarlet rose still held in her hand. He told that its charming flower had cast a spell on her, due to which she became unconscious, but she was not harmed. Rajvedya told King Ferdinand that the princess would wake up from her deep sleep when a true prince arrived. Worried about this, the king announced to all the surrounding kingdoms that whoever woke the princess from her deep sleep would marry her and be made the heir to the kingdom. Word about the princess sleeping in the palace spread throughout the region, and soon princes and nobles from neighboring kingdoms arrived there, each hoping to awaken her with their love and win her hand in marriage. Day after day, they remained awake by her bedside, waiting for the princess to wake up. Yet, as weeks turned into months, most people succumbed to fatigue and despair and left the palace with heavy hearts and unfulfilled dreams. However, among them was a steadfast knight named Sir Gareth, whose loyalty and love knew no bounds. He kept an eye on the sleeping princess day and night and waited for her to wake up. His faith was unwavering even when others faltered. Then, one morning in the faint glow of dawn, Princess Serafina woke from her deep sleep. Her eyes opened wide to find Sir Gareth kneeling beside her, his eyes full of unexpressed love and relief. With gratitude and joy, Sir Gareth told the princess the whole story. Touched by his love and in tears, Princess Serafina embraces Sir Gareth, knowing that she has found her true love. King Ferdinand, overjoyed by his daughter's awakening, announced a grand celebration throughout the kingdom. In a ceremony filled with music and frolic, Princess Serafina and Sir Gareth are married. King Ferdinand made Sir Gareth his successor. And so, amidst the cheers of their subjects and the blessings of the kingdom, Princess Serafina and Sir Gareth lived happily ever after.